Hello! Surprise, surprise! You expected to see Anna with the Nyckelharpa workshop. Well, I have some news for you. You are treated to an unexpected harp workshop with me instead. Well, actually, you can play this tune on any instrument as well, as you could with the Nyckelharpa workshop. You see, the thing is that Anna had lots of things on her plate, and I gave her the afternoon off. And so I decided to take some time instead and teach you another tune. It's an old favorite of hers and mine. It's from our very old, by now, CD called Drone. It's a tune that I've actually never taught before, so this is a bit of an experiment for me as well. Thank you for being my guinea pigs, that's what I'm saying. This is a tune called Trilltrall, which is a mouthful. Trilltrall. It's our own invented word. To have some fun with it, we decided to call it Trilltrall. It's actually called Valltrall, which means a herding tune or a herding lilt. That is a tune that you would sing to yourself or play for yourself when you were out herding. In Sweden we have this tradition going back hundreds of years that you take out, well, not so much today, not so much in urban areas. This would be something you did back when, and especially in the regions of Dalarna and Hälsingland, for example, Värmland also, where in the summer you took out your animals, your cows, your sheep, your goats, what have you, to the countryside, and you would have something called a fäbod. Fäbod, which sort of means creature shed, where the creatures, the kreaturen, where the animals would stay, and you would stay with them for a couple of months, 2, 3, 4 months maybe, during the whole summer basically, to take care of the animals. And when you were there, you would play some music to make time go a bit faster. And that's why we have lots of these herding calls, herding tunes, and so on in Sweden. And this is one of them. So, as I said, this tune works for all instruments. I will show you a bit of the accompaniment idea on the harp, and you can use that for other instruments as well, obviously. We are tuned to D major, C sharp, and F sharps for those of you with harps. And I'm going to start by playing the tune first to show it to you. 2 sharps, although we are technically not in D major, but we are in B minor. So this tune is in B minor, which, if you have some notions about keys, know that is the same thing as D major. So 2 sharps. We start on an F sharp, going up to the B, but I will play it for you first. That's the whole tune. So, not very long, not very weird, maybe a bit weird. I will show you some ways to make it a bit more weird. But for now, let's stick to this. This tune is in 3/4. I play it as if it were a släng polska, and that's how I will teach it. That means that you can dance excellent släng polska to this tune, although it's not technically a släng polska, it is a valltrall or a trilltrall. So it's in 3/4 with an even beat on all 3 beats, just like with the släng polska. These are the 1 and the 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. let's look at the melody again a bit more closely. I'll play it slower for you. So we start on the F sharp going up to the B. 2 times F sharp, 2 times B. Then we go to A, F sharp, G, back to F sharp, G, A and B. So let's play that whole thing a bit slower. One more time. One more time. That's the first part. You may notice that I played a drone accompaniment on a B. This is on when you play this on the first and the third beat, it sounds like this. And I will show you my standard accompaniment sort of for slang polska. Instead of going 1, 2, 3, 1 like this, you go like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And if you play an accompanying instrument like a guitar or mandola, bouzouki, whatever, this is the rhythm, the basic rhythm you would stick to, which is the first beat is strong. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So you might notice here, the strongest note is actually not the 1 or the third, it's the note just after the second beat. So you go 1, 2, and 3. Ba, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. And therein you have the secret to the slang polska. Well, one of them at least. You shouldn't really play on the slang polska 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or you should neither play 1, 3, 1, 3. That doesn't really get out the slang polska groove. You need to do this accentuation 1, 2, and 3 just after the second. This is because slang polska can be seen as polyrhythmic in that it has 1, 2, 3. At the same time you have 6/8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And what we're doing is we're playing 1, 2, 3. It's the basic rhythm, the one we tap with our feet. But then the underlying rhythm is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the 4 in the 6/8 rhythm happens to fall on the beat that we call in 1, 2, 3, the 2 and. And there we get this duality of rhythms, so to speak, that is very typical for the slang polska and for many many polskas as well. So I play for the harp especially, I play an octave like this, I dampen it, and I do the thumb and my fourth finger. So that means first beat, dampen, the two and with only the thumb, but very strong. Going down to the third beat, which comes on the low B with my fourth finger. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. 1, 2, and 3. But you can try to play along with your left hand or accompanying with just this. Well, you can actually rewind to do this as many times as you want. That is the marvels of technology. So, let's look at the second part now, which continues with the same style, although now we break up the drone and go to slightly other chords. I will actually tell you all about the chords soon. For now, let's stick to the melody. So I'll play you the second part. Back to the beginning. So that's the second part. Let me play it for you again in little pieces. We start with G now. G, F sharp, G. 2 times G. First G, F sharp, G, G. Just the melody. Then we jump up to B, A, F sharp 2 times. Once again, that sounds like this. And with the rhythm, you have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. One more time. Now we jump up all the way to D to play this. That is a D, C sharp, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, F sharp. And 2 times F sharp again. So once more, that's D, C sharp, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, F sharp, F sharp. One more time, and... We'll go back to the beginning of the second part on the G. And G, F sharp, G, and one more time, slow and nice. And then comes the final part of the final bit of the B part, which goes like this. We go down to E. That's E, F sharp, G, B, A, F sharp, E, D, E. One more time. The start of the B part on the G. Oops, sorry. I will show you the ornaments in a second. I keep getting ahead of myself. Without ornaments, one final time. Sorry for that. And that's the second part, without any ornaments and without the left hand. Let's look at the left hand. This is with a drone, the same drone we played before, a B drone. It's not perfect in my view, but it works quite nicely, actually still. I'm just very used to playing the B part. This tune, I usually stick to a drone for the first part, then I go into chords with the second part. But you can just as well actually keep the B drone for the second part, and then it sounds like this. This tune is, in my opinion, it's a very good slang polska, but you can tell that it's not a slang polska by the way it ends, because almost always, not always, but almost, slang polska and polskas in general ends in the middle of the bar. They don't end on the first beat. They sometimes end on the third beat. Almost always they end on the second beat. In this case, it ends on the first beat, which is a bit unusual. So that's how you can tell that this is actually not a real slang polska. Although, again, it will work perfectly fine for that. So that's with the B drone. Now let's look with the chords with the same melody in the B part, but with chords. So I start with an E minor. Then I go to an F sharp. That is a D major chord, but I play the F sharp. So D major with F sharp in the bass. But for now, let's play just the bass note. So we'll stick to an F sharp note in the bass. Again, from the beginning, we have the E. F sharp. Now a G. And an A. Oops. And a B. I always try to get a nice progression in the left hand that you can move stepwise. So like here, start on the E, I go to F sharp, G, A, and B. And then I go back to the beginning. And then I end on an A major, but with the same chord structure, that is E, F sharp, G, A. One more time. We have E, F sharp, G, A, B, E, F sharp, G, and A. And then we go back to the beginning again. And speaking of the beginning, I will show you now the chords, the complete chords of the A part, and not only the drone, which I missed to do when we covered the A part. So here we go back to the A part. This one. With chords. Basically just B minor, G, A, and B minor. B minor, G, A, B, B minor, G, A, B. It's up to you if you want to change the chord G, A, B, or stick to the G and go back to the B there. And then remember the E, F sharp, G, A leading to B, back to the E, F sharp, G, and A. A major is a very nice chord to end on, because the second part we started on an E minor, and personally I can never get enough of this relationship between, in this case, E minor and A major. Because this is in the Dorian mode, which means that instead of being purely a minor mode, you would have, with minor mode, you would have an A minor. It sounds like this. E minor, A minor, E minor. Very nice and very somber, but if you if you play the C sharp, that is, if you're in the Dorian mode, that means instead of having the sixth as a minor note, it's now a major. So in E minor it would be a C. Now it's a C sharp because we are in the Dorian mode. So then it sounds like this. Although we technically are in B minor because we started there. So that's part of the interesting thing about this tune, is that you shift between these two keys, basically. And that's the whole tune. Let's look a bit at the ornaments before I show you a specific feature that me and Anna discovered when we played this tune, and that we used in our recording, and that you can use if you want to, if you feel like it. So here, for the ornaments, I always go on and on and on and on and on about ornaments, because to me it's just a very integral part of the tune. It's actually kind of hard for me to play a tune strictly without any ornaments, and I hope that that will be the case for you as well, maybe, if you get used to playing them. In Swedish folk music, it's very important part of the music. There's this old saying that a Swedish folk tune is like a Christmas tree, and it needs all the ornaments hanging on the tree. Otherwise, it's just a big old boring tree out in the forest. It's a bit, I won't say that tunes are boring without ornaments, but they lend another another dimension to them. There are lots of different ornaments. I won't go into them exactly, but I will play this tune for you a bit slower with ornaments. That is, I just play a note before the B, in this case an A. And here, B, A, I play one more very short B before the A. So it sounds like this, very slow. Sorry, one more time. Let's put some extra notes in there. For the second part, on the G, I play first a short A, this. That's one note. You can also do it with two notes. And we'll go. And with F sharp, I repeat it again. Instead of just, that's the basic, G, F sharp, G, I do so. I do the same thing here again. D, E, I just repeat the D, E like that. This is one of the things you do on the fiddle, where you, with the bow, and you play, it's called playing the notes from below, which is a very typical thing to do in Swedish fiddling. And who knows, it might be a typical thing in Swedish harping as well, I'm not quite sure, but it works quite well. Here on the A major, I sometimes like to jazz it up by playing A, B, E instead of A, C sharp, E, or A, D, E. Although a perfectly normal pure A major is quite nice here as well, but you can experiment around with changing out the middle note of the chord to get this effect of, I won't say jazzy, but to color the chord a bit more than just a plain major chord. You can shift around the third, so you move the third up or down one note basically. Instead of C sharp in the middle of an A major chord, you would play a D or a B. works, of course, especially well with the arpeggio. Not so much if you don't do this typical harpy thing. So, one final thing about the Trilltrall. We call it Trilltrall because it sort of trillar ner. It sort of jumps down one step each time we play the tune. And what do I mean by that? Well, now we are in B minor. Second B part is technically in B minor, but it's sort of in E minor. And here on the A major. Now to go back to the beginning, we have to go up one step to B minor, and it sounds like this. Just go back to the start. Nothing weird about that. However, what we discovered is that you can just continue play this tune on the A, which means that you will end up with a new key. I will show you like this. I play the B part again. A major. Now I just stick to this chord, but then it won't work with the levers because now we are in A minor instead of B minor. We jumped, we trillade, we popped down one full step. That means that I now have to change all the levers if I play a lever harp. Now I play the same tune, but in A minor. So what I did now was, while I play the melody, I start with flipping my F sharp lever to a F natural, and then I flip all the F sharps and all the C sharps to F naturals and C naturals while I play the melody. So that means that now we are in A minor, and the chords would then be F, G, and A. And in the second part, see there, I got confused because now we are one full step down. That means we're playing D minor. G major chord. And guess what's happening now? We do the exact same thing one more time. So now we're in G major, and I start playing the tune again, but I start on the logical note, sort of, which is the same note I end on. Instead of going up one note to go back to the beginning, I just continue. It doesn't work, so I have to flip the levers again. So now we are in G major, which is about to go into G minor. Confused. It's hard to play a tune in 3 keys, and it's even harder to try to teach it in 3 different keys. So now we are in G minor. What I did now was flipping all the E levers to E flat and flipping all the B levers to B flat. This is why you should have your harp tuned not to C major with the levers down, but to, well, depends a bit. Actually, right now, mine is tuned to B flat. I have a natural here. So all levels down, I'm in B flat. Usually it's E flat, because you want to have the A lever as well. This is a whole other workshop of its own, especially, well, geared towards harpists, obviously, that we can talk a lot about. What you need to know for now is that we switch the keys again to G major, and then we need E flat and B flat. And there we are. And then I play the tune one more time. So we have G major, E flat, F major going to G minor. And the second part now will be in C minor. D and E flat, F going to G minor, back to C minor, D, E flat going to F. So now we end on F. Still with me so far? Great, of course you are. And from there, well, I mean, you could continue doing this ad infinitum if you have enough levers. If you are quick enough to retune the harp. I can't do it actually, because I need an A flat to go into the next one, because now we're going to F minor in that case. So I stick around to F, and actually what we do when we play this tune is we jump into G minor, back to G, and then we do a bit of improvising. We'll do some improvising there with just G minor and the occasional E flat. E flat, D, and back to G minor. But that's, you don't have to do that, that's me and Anna's ID, so don't you be stealing it. Well, you are free to steal it if you want to, you are free to borrow it, this is folk music after all. So, anyway, that's the tune Trilltrall in 3 different keys, and with some extra improvisation at the end. I hope you like that, and I look forward to playing it with you in a future Nordic Harp meeting in real life. So that's the little extra feature for this hour, and stay tuned for what's coming up at the virtual Nordic Harp meeting. Take care. Bye bye.